Hello, please excuse the sound of the fan. It's hot in here. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just there. Yeah, the worst of the hot weather is over, probably, maybe, but it's still hot, especially in this room. Anyway, talkie video, probably not a Friday talkie. Don't know what day you know. It's Thursday right now. I do have a topic to talk about. Well, kind of. I wouldn't say I'm asking advice. Kind of, sort of asking for opinions. Something. Patreon. Basically, cutting to the chase. I am probably going to set up a Patreon page. I have an account. I haven't gone. It's not live yet. I haven't completed the filling out of all the gubbins and setting it up and all of that lot. Mainly because I'm not completely sure how I want to go about it. Like, I know there will be a minimum thing, you know. You have choices, don't you? Tiers, they call them. There's like how much you want to subscribe, if you like, and what do you get if you subscribe. Because it's absolutely an optional thing. I have seen some channels over the past year or two or whatever who things that were once freely viewable are now not, and only if you subscribe to their Patreon account do you get to see certain things. I am absolutely not going to do that. If you can see it here now, you'll be able to see it here when I've set up a Patreon. I also don't like, I've been uncomfortable about the whole Patreon thing ever since it started. And the main thing is, I don't want to be answerable to my audience. Back when ads were a new thing on YouTube, you would get some viewers who would say, "We're paying your wages," or whatever. So you should give us what we want. Now, I didn't like that, and apart from anything, the logic was completely wrong, because the money from ad revenue wasn't being paid by the viewer. They might have clicked an ad, but it wasn't costing them anything except a couple of seconds to click a link or whatever. But that made me wholly uncomfortable. I don't ever want to be answerable to my audience. This is something I do for fun. So why do I want to do a Patreon thing? I don't need it to live. I am, despite the fact I'm not living in the comfort that I used to, I am getting by. I have enough money to live. I don't need Patreon for that. But I am living cheaply, and what I'm not doing is buying games or gaming hardware or anything non-essential for living day to day. Patreon would allow me to do that, review things, and some people will just say, not our problem, and that's fine. You know, I know there are other people who have said, you know, I want to help, I want to assist, I want to donate, and I've not had anything set up to enable that. Patreon would enable that. It's a thing I'm not 100% comfortable with, but I think it could serve a purpose. So I guess what am I asking? More actually of people who use Patreon. What is your experience of using it? The various tiers that you can have. I know you can offer perks. It's like people who subscribe and give more get extra stuff. Now, how on earth do you deal with a thing like that if you're not going to withhold stuff that's already free? And I won't do that. What can you give away or do that's extra? What can I give away or do that's extra that I'm not already doing? And here's the thing, I don't want to get into the situation with like a viewer or viewers saying, I'm tier 2, I want you to do this, and me feeling obliged to do that. That instantly is, that would be a losing thing. I would come to hate it and not want to do it. there would be those who would say, yes, I will subscribe to your Patreon if you bring back the Friday Talkie. That's not going to happen either, sorry. That won't work, because the whole reason the Friday Talkie is no longer a thing is because I've got nothing left to talk about. When your hobby is what's the word I'm looking for? Nostalgia based, and the Friday Talkie was a great deal of it talking about my memories of gaming as I grew up, and well, not just grew up, but through my life, because there's a lot of stuff that I've done gaming wise and stuff that I remember, but it reaches a point where you've talked about it all, and then to carry on would just be repeating myself, and I don't want to do that. So that's why there is no Friday Talkie. I ran out of stuff to discuss. So yeah, Patreon won't bring that back. It's not a matter of funding, it's not a matter of people wanting it, it's just I can't do it. But yeah, thoughts. What would be good perks for higher tiers? I mean, the bottom tier, the minimum subscription level possible on Patreon is like $1 per month. I don't know if I will set it that low or go a bit higher, like $2 or something. It's something I will ponder. But people who've actually used it, what are your experiences with using it and having tiers, and what do you offer for higher tiers of subscriber? I mean, I do think about doing giveaways for subscribers of higher tiers, because I do have stuff that I'm probably not going to use, but I mean, we're not talking expensive or rare stuff, just I've accumulated a lot of stuff, but you know, I don't want to be giving away things that people have given me either, so you know, it would kind of be a bit random, and there's the risk of people like, well, what do I want that for? So that's not necessarily an ideal thing. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. This is not unusual. You probably know this by now. So yeah, I'm looking for thoughts on the subject, really. You know, there may be some who will say, well, if you're doing Patreon, I'm not watching anymore because I object to all of that kind of thing. Fine, see ya. I'm not preventing anyone from seeing anything they're not already seeing here, which is mostly gameplay. And I would say, no. Sorry, I was seeing something out of the corner of my eye there whizzing about, and I couldn't work out what it was, and was thinking, are my eyes doing weird crap? No, it's this reflecting in the glass of my glasses just there. Duh. What was I saying? I've forgotten. Yes, one thing that I do want to do is more, basically, just plain more. Mainly gameplay videos, because I can only do hardware reviews when I've got hardware to review. Patreon would allow me to have more hardware to review, but more gameplay. Maybe not one every day, but maybe one every other day, something like that. That's a thing. That's a thing I'm working on. You can't see it from here, but for the past few months, I've been here about 5 months now in this room. Most of my gaming hardware has been in storage. It's been stashed away, and it was accessible, but not easily accessible, and very little of it was set up. So recording videos was not a thing, and it didn't matter, because I got a stockpile anyway, and I'm still uploading the stuff stockpiled from last summer. Literally everything I'm uploading except for the pet videos, they're recent, is from a year ago. So yes, I will be recording more soon. What have I got set up? We got the Mega Drive and 32X, 48K Spectrum, PC Engine, NES clone, Atari 2600, Commodore 64, ColecoVision, PS3, PS4, Xbox 360 sitting just there ready to go. Also, and these I will hook into the TV, GBA. It's actually a Retro Specs 32 GBA clone that you can plug into the telly, so easier to record, and I won't be breaking my back the way I normally record handhelds. And a PSP Go, which I can also plug into the telly, and that's running custom firmware, so I can run lots of games on that. Yeah, so I want to record a lot of gameplay footage and do like my usual commentaries. You know what they're like by now. That's coming up. Whether I do Patreon or not, there's going to be more, but I do want your thoughts on Patreon. I'm interested, you know, what are your thoughts on it in general? What are your experiences as a patron or as a user of it, someone who's got an account and makes videos? Yeah. Have I got anything else to talk about right now? I don't think so. Okay, that's short and sweet and stuff. There will be more to follow, something, gameplays and things. Yeah, and I'm going to be doing a new intro video. You know, do people still go to the front page of YouTube channels, you know, where there's the introductory video that explains what a channel is all about? I have a video on there that explains what this channel is all about, but it's old and out of date and not entirely relevant anymore, because it does refer to the Friday Talkie, which obviously I don't do anymore. So I'm going to do a new one of those. You will see that shortly, a couple of days, something like that. Okay, going to stop waffling now. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to your thoughts on the subject. Yeah, cheers.
Right, hit the subscribe button or I'm getting naked on camera. Go on, do it. Right, you asked for it. Ah, you asked for it. Ha, ha, oh.